What's up, boys? This is Formula Chris. We're running IndyCars at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is going to be week 3 of our 12-week IndyCar Oval Fixed series that we've been running. We're starting in a good spot, P3, even though I'm going to lose a spot straight off the line to P4. A quick reminder of our series goals, if you didn't see the first episode. We want to finish in the top 10 of Division 8, which is my division. We want to reach an A-class license and win at least 5 races this season. We got one in week 1. We weren't able to do it in week 2, so we're going to see if we can get one here in week 3. I should remind you also that the races that you're seeing are the races that I completed in which I gained the most points. If you're not familiar with how iRacing's point system works for each series, it essentially takes into account your finishing position relative to the strength of field of the race that you were in, and calculates those two together somehow and gives you a number of points, essentially. But anyway, back to the race at hand. We're still P4 on lap 2 here. I'm just trying to find my rhythm and settle in. Something that I noticed on this track early on is something that I mentioned in last week's race, which is the tire temperatures are going to get a little bit out of hand here, most likely. Not sure if it was the track itself or the track conditions, but controlling my right side tires became a focal point early on in this race that you'll see essentially becomes the narrative for this race. We're not in a bad spot right here. We're a little bit adrift from the 3 cars in front, and the main goal for this race for me is going to be finding clean air on my front wing so that I can reduce tire scrubbing and keep my right side tires in a good operating window. In road racing, there's a few techniques that you can use, such as utilizing LICO or alternating the timing of your throttle and braking inputs. That's not really an option here on these ovals. And we're not going to fight too hard for P4 here. We're going to let that guy just go ahead. So as this race goes on, keep an eye out for where I'm positioning my car in relation to the cars ahead of me, and we're going to try to make it to the end of this race with cooler tires than the cars around us, as we're on lap 5 here as the first caution is going to come out. Which cautions are another thing that's going to help us for today's race, because they're going to allow us to reduce our tire temperatures, and that wall is going to be an issue today. Oh, and collects another car as well. I forgot about that when I was doing the editing. That's brutal for the car behind. I mean, he tries to avoid it, but there's really not much. There's no place that you can go in that situation. That's really, really brutal. As they say, though, you know, the more incidents for others around us, the better for us. It's just going to reduce the field and give us a better opportunity to finish up high. We're going to cut ahead here to lap 15. Not much happened from the restart, kind of just following in position. The part that sucks about this video is that the interesting part for me, which is using different lines and looking out for our tires, is the boring part for you guys. And P6 catches me off guard here. I'm not going to be fighting too hard for position early on in this race, though, because, as I said earlier, we're looking after our tires. So I'm just going to go ahead and let him go. And we're still with the main pack. That's my main goal for this race. We're going to stay with the main pack here. We're going to jump ahead to lap 22. Already you can see on the steering wheel those right side tires are cooking, only 14 laps after the last caution, but we're going to get a reprieve as the leader is actually going to spin out from the lead here. Let's see what happens. I swear the apron gets at least one person every race that we run in this IndyCar series, so not a surprise. He just kind of stops it right in the middle of the track. And cockpit view here for poor Mr. Yoder, and I mean that's a pretty simple mistake. So we're not going to fault him too hard. It's it's pretty brutal though, spinning from the lead of the race like that. Good thing is the car's not damaged, so he's able to continue. And here on lap, I guess 22, 23, we're going to come in for our stop, as we're just about able to fuel up until the very end. So we may as well take advantage of it while we can. And long run here down to the pit lane. We're going to pull in. There's a reason that I'm showing you guys this as well. So stop, hit the marks. We're going to get tires. We're going to get full fuel. And in the car, I don't know what I did to cause this. They like stopped and then added more fuel afterwards. And I don't know why. I feel like the pit lane is not kind to me at all, though. Like, we always have mistakes in the pit lane. I mean, what am I don't know, whatever. Anyway, it only cost us a couple positions, which is nice. And then the people that were ahead of us pitted anyway afterwards. So we ended up in P5 on lap 34. We made a pretty big jump ahead because nothing really happened. So Not a huge deal. You can see, though, less than 10 laps after the restart, well, I mean, you could, that my tire temps on the right side are already back into the red, and that's costing us performance and lap time. And we're going to let one go, and another car is going to follow right behind him, which is actually pretty bad because we don't want to be in the dirty air. You can see, look at the wake, lifts me up the track when they come back down, and that's just going to further heat the tires even more. So we do not want to be behind these cars at all. We need to find some clean air, and you can see me kind of doing that, trying to dip my nose down below towards the apron, see if we can get some clean air onto the front wing. Now we've got a little bit of a 3-wide situation ahead of us, though, so we've got to be careful, especially as they're going to make contact there. See if we can find some air. Yeah, well, I mean, I held it at least, but that is an unfortunate error, and I basically did the same thing as the guy that we saw earlier when he dipped a wheel onto the apron. I got a little bit spooked, I'm not gonna lie, by this black car here. He kind of was a lot slower than I thought, and then I kind of just put my nose where it doesn't need to be in an attempt to find some clean air. We're gonna see it one more time here. Nice save, though, not gonna lie. Pat on the back. However, the unfortunate thing that does for us is it takes us out of the lead pack. So now we're in P9. The lead pack is basically distanced itself from us because we lost so much time with that half spin, whatever you want to call it. So now we're back battling the cars in P9, P10, P11. The good news, however, is that we do have clean air again, and we're able to use that to take care of our tires. You can see a couple cars ahead of us, slow and struggling. We're going to pick up that slipstream, try to slip right behind him, and I am not worried too much right now about our fuel. We need to catch the leaders if I want to have any chance of finishing well in this race. And we don't want to rely on a caution because later in these races, they don't always come out. So pick up one position, and I'm sure catching these guys has nothing to do with anything that I would have done. I'm sure they just had an incident ahead, slowed them down, and I was able to catch them. But it did give me a bit of a confidence boost, knowing that I at least had a pack in order to help lift me towards the leaders here. And as much as I would like to lead this pack, I'm also okay with just using the slipstream of the guy ahead, help save some fuel, and also reset our mindset and remind ourselves that our goals are to take care of our tires. We want to protect our tires because we're not going to get another stop, most likely. So we're going to have to run 35 more laps on the same set of tires. As much saving and temperature control as we can do, the better. So we're going to move on to lap 54 here. And we're going to be gifted a free position as something interesting happens. One of the drivers ahead of me essentially just nods off at the wheel and runs into the wall. Super strange. No idea what he was doing. But we'll take it. It's going to gift us a free position. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage there as well. Mr. Douglas is certainly going to be kicking himself for that one. Lap 54 here, we're back up to P6, and the same story is continuing. The tires are absolutely cooking. However, one thing that you'll notice is we are slowly catching that lead pack. And this run is going to start giving me some confidence because I feel like we've taken care of our tires really well, and potentially them fighting each other have not been able to do the same thing. You know, I mean, look at the car position. We're going to stay low, keep some clean air. The car ahead runs up high, and we're going to be gifted another free position if we can keep it tight. We do. As we move up into P5 and more into a place that I'd like to be. But seeing that gave me a lot of confidence because now that we have some clean air, we're going to be able to keep some nice, cool, undisturbed air on our tires. And you can see we're going to jump ahead to lap 69 here, about 6 laps from the end. And we've caught P4, and our pace is significantly better than this guy. So at this point, we're attacking these tires. We're hunting. We're looking for positions. You can see here that I'm in map mode 1 using all of the fuel that I have available to me. We're going to look to the outside, go high. It's not there. And with those tires that we still have life with, we're able to come down the track and further attack, and we're going to get a really nice run off of the corner. No extra aggression, nothing needed, just better pace. We're going to sweep around the outside, straight into P4, and immediately drop the guy as we're going to push ahead, see if we can catch P3. And we're going to immediately find out that that's not the case. We're still in P4 here on lap 75. We're just going to bring it home. I do, however, still think this is a good result considering what happened in the race. I mean, we had that big moment that cost us probably about 20 seconds of race time compared to the leaders. And with taking care of our tires, we were still able to push up to P4 without any cautions helping us out. The guys that were aggressive early on in the race, they burned their tires. They weren't able to make it to the finish line with as strong of a pace as we were. So a P4 finish after a P3 start is not a bad result there. We're going to take that every day of the week. And these kind of clean results are going to be very beneficial in our hunt for top 5 in Division 8. You can see here we picked up 69 championship points. Nice. And in the Division 8 standings, I've moved up from P5 to P4. And we're right there in the hunt, only about 40 points away from the person in first place. So as always, thank you for watching, and don't forget to tune in next week at New Hampshire.